They said no homeowner should own that much land. So they tried seizing my mountain cabin until they found out I built this land with my bare hands. And I don't give up ground, it's mine. My mountain cabin wasn't just a home, it was a legacy. My father and I built it with timber we cut ourselves, a 2-mile drive through pine trails that no one but us ever touched. Then one morning, a letter arrived from the local HOA, a community I wasn't even part of. It read, "Your property exceeds the permissible acreage. Your cabin will be evaluated for annexation." I nearly laughed. My property was outside their borders by a good 5 miles. But when I drove into town, I found survey markers, their survey markers, stretching up my mountain trail. The HOA president, a woman named Sandra, stood there in a designer coat with a clipboard. "We've decided to absorb your parcel into our managed area," she said confidently. I stared at her. "You can't just decide that." "Oh, we can," she smirked. "You'll thank us when your land's properly maintained." By the end of the week, they tried to lock my gate, slap fake notices on my cabin door, and even called the sheriff, claiming I was squatting on HOA property. The deputy took one look at my deed and shook his head. "Sir, they're out of bounds, literally." That's when I went to war, legally. I filed a cease and desist, then a lawsuit for land fraud and property interference. I gathered aerial maps, old tax records, and the original cabin permits my father had kept since the 1970s. In court, I stood there calm while the HOA's lawyer stumbled over false documents. The judge looked at me, then at them, and said, "Do you realize this man's land was granted before your HOA even existed?" Their faces drained of color. The ruling came swift. The HOA was fined $500,000 for property interference, trespassing, and fraudulent annexation attempts. Their boundaries were redrawn permanently, 5 miles away from my line. A month later, I stood on my deck as the first snow fell over the mountains. No more markers, no more threats, just peace and pine air. Sometimes, the land remembers who it belongs to, and so do the people who built it.
I am Liam. Subscribe for more HOA madness. Thanks.